There's one thing that women have never truly understood. Being beautiful and having money does not make women a catch to men. There are things that a man perceives as more important. Trust me, a seven-figure income and hot body don't draw the kind of attention you think it does where long-term romance and commitment are concerned. Yes, we both are first attracted by what we see, but we cannot escape personality, can we? We will walk right by you if we perceive a serious red flag, and go straight to the burger flipper if we suspect she and I have the right chemistry. It's because she knows what bringing it to the table is really about for a man to want her. Look, guys are out there fighting the world to get stable results, getting food on the table, battling headaches, and working themselves sick. They do not want to come to home another fight. You should be fighting for them, not against them. Are you going to be those things? Because at the end of the day, above everything else, men need peace, stability, loyalty, and respect. If you are not bringing those things to the table, goodbye. Also, if your words say one thing, but your actions prove another, goodbye again. For some guys, like the monks, dating and marriage are not ever going to happen. Confirmed bachelors and men going their own way are not about hatred. It's an understanding of many modern women, popular society, and the family courts. It's not much of an egomaniacal or emotional argument. It's about pure and absolute logic. Smart guys are not in the market for most modern North American women anymore. While most girls were out spending their 20s partying with bad boys, working a job, and accepting little responsibility, we cultivated a career. And we worked really hard to get promoted into higher levels of responsibility and pay. Now, we have earned several homes, cars, lots of vacation time, and a retirement. And when the same girls come to us after being run through their 20s and 30s by their chads, and say they want to settle down with us, how do you women think we feel? That's right. We couldn't give a damn. You didn't accept us when we were struggling. Suddenly, when we've made it in the world, you come to us and ask for economic and social shelter. No way. Not going to happen. Go back to Chad and live in his mom's basement with him. It's hard as it is for men in society today. The justice climate is very much against men. The courts still treat women as if their economic well-being is dependent on the man, which we all know is not true anymore. We risk losing more than half of everything we earned, and half of everything we will earn. The courts still treat women as victims. If a woman even says that he tried to assault me, then we are seen as guilty in the public's eye. Any lawyer worth their salt will tell you when a client sits in the defendant's chair, the jury sees them as 50-50 guilty and innocent. That's a big jump from innocent until proven guilty. A false assault claim is not merely an attack on a man's character. It is an attempt to kidnap, imprison, emotionally torture, and destroy an innocent man at the cost of the credibility of women who suffer such horrors. It is a profoundly evil act, and yet there are often no consequences for women who make false claims. If we live together, we will be barred from our own house immediately and without a judge's decision, leaving us homeless. We will be suspended from our job pending the legal outcome. It might take a year or more. We might have our beloved kids taken away. Put yourself in our shoes. How'd you like that? Women? Resources men spent their lives building can cruelly be snatched away from us by sneering lawyers, judges, and their own wives, desperate to abandon them at the first opportunity that another richer man comes along. Smug, twisted smiles of greed and barely concealed hatred accompany the clawed hands, grabbing hungrily at the fruits of the man's labor, the sweat off his back and brow, meant to be shared by a loving couple raising a family, now cruelly stolen away by unfeeling harpies screeching for more, even as their ill-gotten gains, overflowing their grasp, tumble to the ground all around them. All while the judges self-righteously admonish the men that if they don't pay regularly and on time, their very freedom will be taken from them. And they still must pay, even when under lock and key, unable to toil for the resources that, so many, but not all, women covet so selfishly. And then, there are the activists, decrying marriage as patriarchy and oppression, who are so wrapped up in their slogans and sound bites that they cannot even see they hurt the very same women and families they claim to be fighting for. They are so lost that they cannot ever be found. Many men have chosen to let them crash and burn rather than risk their own self. Even God's honest truth sound like lies to them if it comes not cloaked in their propaganda. Most women clapped in glee at the gains equality made for them where marriage was concerned, not realizing, or not caring, that for every gift they were given, something is taken away from others. Eventually, so much was taken from men that the covenant of marriage is no longer worth men's vow, a vow that's broken by 75% of women. It's just not worth it anymore, men cry, speaking of the sacrifice of nearly everything they have and are, for little benefit. What use now is marriage? What future can there be with these kinds of women who crow endlessly on how strong and independent they are, all while demanding more from their plow-horse husbands in exchange for one more touch, just one more kiss? While the house decays, the children run wild, and the institution of marriage rots in their hearts, slowly dying on the vine while crying out for tender, loving care. And some of these young women trawl the internet, chasing the gaze of libidinous, lonely men, so confused in today's world that they cannot even see they are not truly desperate for intimacy, but for simple human connection, yearning to be accepted, respected, and loved. I have friends who are millionaires, and friends who are barely getting by. Ignore the money and focus on the wonderful friendship and good times to be had. Men, never get into a contract with someone who is so heavily rewarded for breaking it. The truth is many, but not all, of modern North American women are predatory for someone else's resources, and men are waking up to it. We are getting wise to the lies. We've seen too many families torn apart. He wasn't meeting my emotional needs, is the typical excuse. That excuse is so vague a person could use it to justify mass homicide. Sounds like selfishness to me. A professor gave a balloon to every student, who had to inflate it, write their name on it, and throw it in the hallway. The professor then mixed all the balloons. The students were then given 5 minutes to find their own balloon. Despite a hectic search, no one found their balloon. At that point, the professor told the students to take the first balloon that they found and hand it to the person whose name was written on it. Within 5 minutes, everyone had their own balloon. The professor said to the students, "These balloons are like happiness. We will never find it if everyone is looking for their own. But if we care about other people's happiness, we'll find ours too." Women, despite your belief to the contrary, there is no hate for you coming from confirmed bachelors and men who are going their own way. It's all about mistrust based on direct and shared experiences. Trust? That ship has sailed, and modern North American women missed it. Men don't want slaves. Men don't want blindly obedient wives. We don't care if she makes more than us. We never did. Most guys just want a lifetime partner we love and she loves us. She is reliable. We enjoy spending time together and having fun with each other. She takes accountability where due. She will be with me through thick and thin. Most North American women aren't like that, especially during financial hardship. When the money goes, so does she. It's ironic. If it wasn't for women and their liberation, the world would probably not have seen this nature. Men are not mental cases for wanting to avoid all this crapola. It's just the opposite. We'd be mental cases if we wanted it. We prove we are stronger than the social narrative being pushed on society. The incentives for men are nearly extinct, and the risks are far, far too high. You don't get a prize anymore. You get an unloyal jerk with an entitlement mentality who's looking to take your resources and then some, the moment they become bored. Many modern North American men see many modern North American women demonstrate behaviors that prove their bad values, wrong expectations, wrong worldview, and abhorred attitude toward a relationship, let alone marriage material. Women, there is no hate here, but no trust either. Many, but not all American women, deserve the title the rest of planet Earth has for them: self-entitled, greedy, lying, two-faced, and untrustworthy. That's why we got our passports. That's why we choose our own path. The path where we discover life on our own spectrum. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.